This is a Seth Thomas 89L clock mechanism from, well, it's got a patent date on it from 1927. And I bought this off of eBay, and although I don't know a great deal about these mechanisms at this point, it didn't work, and I've got it to a point now where it is working. I cleaned it the best I could without actually disassembling it, and it wasn't really bad to begin with. And the thing with this mechanism is all the bushings looked real good. There's none that had, to me, there's none that had any excessive wear. And when I first got it, it wouldn't run at all. And I think most of the problem was just the beat of the clock was bad. So I played with the adjustment on the pendulum arm there, and I have another mechanism with the correct pendulum weight on it, but I don't have it with me, so I got a substitute weight there, which is just for the time being. It's working okay. Now this mechanism, unlike the other one I have, this has a 3-strike hammer setup, and it's I think this is still a bit what they would call a bim bam mechanism, but apparently the chime bar setup had 3 bars. The one I'm going to use it with has a 2-bar chime, and with my sacrificial mechanism, I'm going to swap the 2-bar hammer setup for the 3-bar, or the other way around. I'm going to swap the 3-bar for the 2-bar, and so far it's been running. I've had it going now for over a day, so I'm going to assume it's going to work. If it doesn't, the first thing I think I'm going to do is replace the mainsprings, in that they're 80 years old and they've probably been wound up for 80 years. But seems like it has enough power to keep running, and it strikes it strikes the quarter hour, half hour, the 3/4 hour, and then it strikes a little differently on the hour. And it's been working okay. I have a face coming for it, and I'm going to restore it's a Seth Thomas Cymbal number 2 clock that a long time ago I had put a quartz mechanism in, but it always bothered me that I had to do that. So at this point, I'm going to see if I can get it back more towards original on that. I have the original chime bars, but and the hands, but they're just, I can't find them. They're lost in the abyss of it's my house. So I got some new ones on eBay. So hopefully this will be a success. And once I get the clock back together and running good, I'll put up a little video of it chiming and running. The one sad thing I did was, and I didn't know at the time, this had to be maybe over 20 years ago. The clock looked terrible. The finish was just a mess. Although the wood itself was good, and I restored it, and it looks really nice. It's just it's restored, so. I'm not sure exactly how rare this clock is. I tend to think it's not that rare anyhow. Although when I research the Cymbal number 2, I don't see a lot of them, but there's a lot of really similar clocks. I think the difference between a lot of these clocks was just the trim on the case. Although there seems to be a pretty good variation in the mechanisms. Some work with a coiled gong, some work with a seems like there's a Westminster chime type thing, although I'm not sure of that with the 89 mechanism. But there's definitely the single gong, and then there's the 2 hammer, and now there's a 3 hammer. So there's a bunch of variations on this. The ratchet wheel, the escapement up there looks good. The teeth are nice. They're not deformed. The clock's running with what I would consider to be a nice beat. So I'm looking forward to getting this thing going eventually. This is, I just noticed it's coming up on the striking time, so if I'm patient here for a minute, maybe I can see the thing running. using the strike side. It looks like on this mechanism, if you had to replace the mainsprings, that once you let down the power of the mainsprings, it wouldn't be such a big deal to replace it. It looks like the bottom half of the mechanism comes apart. There it goes. So it struck 5 o'clock. Then as the mechanism progresses, then that hammer that's raised falls down and goes back into the position to strike on the quarter hours. So like I say, it's been running now for more than a day, so I feel pretty confident it's going to keep going, especially once I get the actual pendulum bob on there. Thanks for looking.